On the eve of Thanksgiving 1971, a man using the name Dan Cooper walked onto an airplane, forever altering the landscape of aviation security. This seemingly ordinary event would soon become one of the most infamous and enduring mysteries in American history. He purchased a one-way ticket on Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, his destination Seattle, Washington. The ticket cost just $20, a small price for what would become a monumental act. Cooper was unassuming in appearance, a quiet presence amidst the holiday travelers. He blended seamlessly into the crowd, a man in a dark suit and tie carrying a briefcase. No one paid him any special attention. Little did anyone know, this ordinary-looking man was about to execute one of the most daring and baffling crimes in American history. As the plane took off, the passengers settled in for what they thought would be a routine flight. Cooper's true identity remains a mystery to this day. Despite numerous investigations and countless theories, the man who called himself Dan Cooper has never been conclusively identified. He boarded the plane dressed in a dark suit and tie, carrying a briefcase. His attire was professional, his demeanor calm and collected. He appeared to be just another businessman traveling for the holidays. Witnesses described him as being in his mid-40s, with dark hair and an olive complexion. He was polite but reserved, a man who kept to himself. He was polite but reserved, ordering a bourbon and soda during the flight. He sipped his drink quietly, giving no indication of the dramatic events that were about to unfold. This nondescript appearance has made it difficult for investigators to piece together his true identity, adding to the enigma of D.B. Cooper. Over the years, countless hours have been spent analyzing witness statements and scrutinizing every detail of that fateful flight. The mystery of D.B. Cooper has captivated the public imagination for decades. Newspaper headlines blared the story, and people across the country were fascinated by the audacity of the crime and the elusiveness of the criminal. Was he a seasoned criminal or a desperate everyman? Theories abound, each more intriguing than the last. Some believe he was a mastermind, while others think he was an ordinary man driven to extraordinary measures. The lack of concrete answers has allowed theories to proliferate, ranging from the plausible to the outlandish. Some suggest he was a former military paratrooper, while others believe he was an amateur who got lucky. Some believe he was a skilled skydiver, who meticulously planned his escape, using his knowledge of aviation and parachuting to pull off the heist. They argue that his calm demeanor and precise actions indicate a man who knew exactly what he was doing. While others speculate he was an amateur who perished in the wilderness, they point to the harsh conditions and the lack of survival gear, suggesting that he may have met his end shortly after jumping from the plane. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: the legend of D.B. Cooper continues to loom large in the annals of unsolved crimes. His story is a testament to the enduring allure of mystery and the human fascination with the unknown. As long as the case remains unsolved, the legend of D.B. Cooper will continue to captivate and intrigue. Flight 305, a Boeing 727, took off from Portland International Airport at 2:50 p.m. The day seemed like any other, with the usual hustle and bustle of passengers boarding their flights, unaware of the extraordinary events that were about to unfold. The flight was routine, carrying 36 passengers and a crew of 6. The passengers settled into their seats, some reading newspapers, others chatting with their neighbors, and a few simply gazing out the windows, lost in thought. The flight attendants moved through the aisle, offering drinks and snacks, ensuring everyone was comfortable. As the plane reached cruising altitude, Cooper, a man in his mid-40s wearing a business suit and dark sunglasses, passed a note to Florence Schaffner, a flight attendant. Initially, she thought it was just another passenger trying to flirt with her, a common occurrence in her line of work. The note's contents were chilling. "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I will use it if necessary. I want you to sit next to me. You are being hijacked." Florence's heart raced as she read the words. She glanced at Cooper, who nodded calmly, indicating that she should take the threat seriously. Fear gripped the passengers and crew as the reality of the situation sunk in. Whispers spread through the cabin, and the once relaxed atmosphere turned tense. Parents held their children close, and some passengers began to pray silently, hoping for a peaceful resolution. Cooper, calm and collected, revealed what appeared to be dynamite and wires inside his briefcase. His demeanor was unnervingly composed, as if he had done this many times before. He assured Florence that as long as his demands were met, no one would be harmed. He demanded $200,000 in unmarked $20 bills and 4 parachutes. The specificity of his demands suggested that he had meticulously planned every detail of the hijacking. The crew was instructed to relay these demands to the authorities on the ground. The pilot, William Scott, contacted air traffic control and relayed Cooper's demands. The tension in the cockpit was palpable as they awaited a response. The lives of everyone on board depended on the swift and precise actions of the authorities. The FBI was notified, and a tense standoff ensued as authorities worked to meet Cooper's demands. Agents scrambled to gather the money and parachutes, while also trying to devise a plan to apprehend the hijacker without endangering the passengers. Cooper, showing surprising knowledge of aviation, instructed the crew to fly to Mexico City. His familiarity with flight procedures and technical jargon suggested he might have had some background in aviation, adding another layer of mystery to his identity. He demanded the plane maintain a low altitude and fly at a slow speed with the landing gear down. These unusual requests were likely designed to facilitate his escape plan, but they also increased the risk for everyone on board. The crew had no choice but to comply, hoping that the situation would resolve without further escalation. These unusual requests were likely designed to facilitate his escape plan, but they also increased the risk for everyone on board. The crew had no choice but to comply, hoping that the situation would resolve without further escalation. The pilots adjusted the plane's settings, their minds racing with the potential outcomes of this high-stakes scenario. The passengers, meanwhile, could only wait and wonder what fate awaited them at the hands of this enigmatic hijacker. Some tried to catch glimpses of Cooper, hoping to understand his intentions, while others avoided looking in his direction, fearing that any attention might provoke him. The minutes felt like hours as the plane continued its journey, each second bringing them closer to an uncertain future. After hours of tense negotiations, the FBI meticulously gathered the ransom money and parachutes, ensuring everything was in place for the next phase of this high-stakes situation. The agents, aware of the gravity of the situation, moved with a sense of urgency and precision. Cooper, maintaining his calm and calculated demeanor, instructed the pilot to land at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. This stop was crucial for refueling, and allowed the passengers and some crew members to disembark, reducing the number of hostages on board. The passengers, relieved yet shaken, stepped off the plane, unaware of the drama that would soon unfold. With the plane back in the air, Cooper directed the pilots to fly towards Reno, Nevada. He insisted on maintaining a low altitude, a detail that would later be scrutinized by investigators. The low altitude was essential for his escape plan, ensuring the plane's speed and height were optimal for a parachute jump. Inside the dimly lit cabin, the remaining crew members were held hostage. Their fear was palpable, their eyes darting nervously as the plane flew into the dark, stormy night. The tension was thick, each moment stretching into an eternity as they awaited Cooper's next move. At approximately 8:13 p.m., somewhere over the dense forests of southwest Washington state, Cooper made his move. The timing was precise, chosen to maximize his chances of disappearing into the night. He had the crew lower the aft stairs, a feature unique to the Boeing 727. With the $200,000 strapped securely to his body, he jumped into the inky blackness of the stormy night. The wind roared around him as he plummeted towards the earth, his fate uncertain. The plane, now battered by the storm, continued its journey towards Reno. The pilots, maintaining their composure, navigated through the turbulent weather, unaware of Cooper's fate below. The crew, though shaken by the night's events, managed to land the plane safely. Their relief was immense, but questions lingered about the man who had orchestrated this audacious heist. D.B. Cooper, however, had vanished into the night. The dense forest below offered countless hiding places, and the stormy weather only added to the difficulty of tracking him. He left behind more questions than answers, his fate a mystery. The audacity of Cooper's escape stunned investigators. They were left to piece together the events of the night, trying to understand how he had managed to pull off such a daring feat. He had jumped from the back of a moving aircraft in the dark during a storm with no guarantee of survival. The risks were enormous, and yet he had taken them without hesitation. The jump was incredibly risky, suggesting a level of desperation or perhaps a high degree of skill and experience. The stormy weather, the darkness, and the unknown terrain below all combined to make this one of the most dangerous skydives imaginable. The mystery of D.B. Cooper had taken another unexpected turn, solidifying his place in criminal folklore. His daring escape, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, would captivate the public and law enforcement for decades to come. The legend of D.B. Cooper, the man who vanished into the night, would endure, a testament to one of the most audacious heists in history. The FBI launched a massive manhunt for D.B. Cooper, combing the rugged wilderness of southwest Washington where he was believed to have landed. Hundreds of agents scoured the area, joined by volunteers and local law enforcement. Despite their efforts, no trace of Cooper was found. The money, marked and traceable, seemed to have vanished along with him. Years passed and the case grew cold. Then in 1980, a young boy named Brian Ingram made a startling discovery while playing on the banks of the Columbia River. He unearthed a bundle of decaying $20 bills, still wrapped in rubber bands, matching the serial numbers from the ransom money. The discovery reignited hope that Cooper's trail might not be entirely cold. The discovery of the money presented more questions than answers. How did the money end up on the banks of the Columbia River, miles from where Cooper was believed to have landed? Did the current carry it downstream, or was this a deliberate attempt to mislead investigators? The find fueled speculation and breathed new life into the investigation, but Cooper himself remained elusive.